Part 4. An Unexpected Reunion. Her long hair like charcoal shadows flow behind her, twice as long as her indigo shawl. Luminous is showing Fire Pit tonight. The show is repetitive. She's seen Fire Pit too many times before. The shadow has seen all these shows too many times before. All these moves, all these colors, all these elementals, all these arrangements. Everything. Different elementals dance by. The shadow takes off her glasses. The snowflakes aren't making her happy today, so she might as well see how the elementals styled their emittance. A warm fire elemental flutters by. His yellow emittance is stylized to look like wings. It can't be wings. They never care about animals. They have. There was history of water. There were birds in that. The show had a brief moment before it faded, but the shadow didn't think it inspired any styles. Perhaps she just wasn't paying enough attention to styles back then. Maybe the show was more popular than she remembered. A cold ice elemental floats by. Her pale purple tendrils frozen over into crystal-like structures. Some float around her. The remaining ones completely cover her core. There are faint carvings on the ice crystals. She's never seen that style before. It's not worth dwelling on. Other elementals are focused on the ice elemental. It's probably new or unpopular. The ice elemental is followed by a clear water elemental. His teal water tendrils swirl around in mini whirlpools and mist up to look like a cloud, concealing his core. He lets some of the water flow naturally, like water dripping down the side of a mountain. Like ice melting in the spring. It's time to go to a new place. She knows this. The light orbs haven't felt good in so long. Well, they never truly felt good, but they didn't feel this bitter before. Once upon a time, they were almost sweet. Bittersweet, perhaps, but still a little sweet. Those first few excursions with the snowmen might have been the last time. It can't have been that long ago. You're just having a bad day. Nothing lasts forever. The phrase repeats in her core, echoing throughout. The shadow will go to a different place next time. She needs to. The shadow checks on hoppy frogs and squiggly salamanders when she gets home. She can still see the creases. The dark figure returns to Luminous the next time she goes out to a light show. The light show still feels bitter. She needs to go. She stays for another light show. New spring. The creases on hoppy frogs and squiggly salamanders might never go away. The shadow only likes to have 100 human copies of books at a time, while keeping the rest of her collection as wisps. She had resisted the wisped books for so long, but they keep her space from getting cluttered and allow her to have even more books. She could probably find a really nice book to replace hoppy frogs. There are plenty of books she has only ever experienced as wisps that she would love to have a physical copy of. The thought makes her core sink. She slips hoppy frogs back under the stack of books. Luminous feels worse. Why do I keep trying? She needs to go. She leaves. You can't go back. You have to go somewhere else. Promise me. This hall is smaller than Luminous. For a moment, the charcoal figure misses the familiar crescent-shaped layout. I might still be able to go back. I just need a break. Nothing lasts forever. The shadow doesn't know if she prefers the smaller area. It feels more intimate. That's where the confusion lies. It's more difficult to get lost in a smaller place. But it's more difficult to disappear as well. Her cloak billows out behind her as she enters. It's all she brought with her. A part of her knows that was the right choice. Another part of her is certain she won't last here without her glasses. She wanders around the edge of the hall. Charcoal Shadow, I haven't seen you in a while. She turns around to see an ice elemental she knew when she was younger. We haven't, the shadow agrees. She knows they've been hovering in the same circles, but they were never close. How have you been? The ice elemental asks. Pale blue ice hangs around his core. Between the icicles,
the shadow can see a core blooming with white and mint-colored flowers. A spring core. The shadow is surprised that the icy spring isn't styled like the protagonist of New Spring.
"I've been well," the charcoal shadow says. It sounds like a lie, but she could be worse. "How have you been?" "I've been doing well as well," the chilled ice answers. "What have you been up to?" "Studies," the dark figure says vaguely. The light orbs that come from the ice feel cool to the touch. She might be able to leave after this conversation. "What are you studying?"
the ice elemental asks, as small blue ice crystals flutter around him.
"The old creatures," she answers, prepared for the other elemental to end the conversation. "Which ones are you researching? I'm looking into the humans myself right now." "You are?" the shadow asks. When was the last time she met an elemental interested in talking about the old creatures? When was the last time I said more than hi to anyone?
Yeah, some friends and I are forming a group to discuss human artifacts.
We admittedly decided this on a whim, but an eternity is too long to do nothing, you know? You want to join? "Yes," the shadow says.
Don't question why he's inviting you.
"I have enough of a positive reputation." That's why Chilled is asking. That's why. That must be why. "When are you planning on meeting?" "Here's my flare," the icy spring says. "We're still discussing the time and place."
Hopefully, adding someone else to the discussion will force a decision.
"Thank you," the shadow says, exchanging flares. "Is there anything I should bring?" "Nope." The charcoal figure had to bring something. She's been floating around the meeting place for a while. She doesn't want to arrive too early. With eternity to exist, most elementals tend to arrive late. Based on the flare she received, the ice elemental's friends include a light and a platinum elemental. They bicker quite a bit, but they seem friendly. The shadow wants this first meeting to go well. She wants this club to succeed, to last. And for a club to last, participation is necessary. So she decided to bring Animals of the World, an amateur guide, one of her many books on animals. It will help illustrate the human perspective.
And maybe they'll like animals as well.
The shadow spent a lot of time deciding on the book. She finally came to the conclusion that one of her more basic books would be best. One that could start simple conversations. One that can branch out into her other books.
Rereading the book was an enjoyable experience for her. She hadn't read it in a long time, and was reminded why it was one of the books she had chosen to keep a human copy of. She had initially considered just bringing one of her Wisp books, but decided against it. For a club to last, participation is necessary. The shadow finally enters the meeting place when she decides it isn't too early. It's a small, cozy cave that reminds her of her own home more than the venues.
"Welcome, welcome," the chilled ice elemental says, floating over to her. "You mind if I call you Charcoal?" "I'm okay with that," she says. The wisps of light feel warmer than last time. "What would you like to be called?" She doesn't want to overstep any boundaries. "Fresh," the spring elemental answers. "What did you bring with you?" "A book about animals written by humans," the charcoal-colored figure answers, holding up the book. "Huh, that's interesting. I brought some artifacts as well. We should have enough for a meeting or two." "I'd hope so, considering everything you brought,"
a pale gray platinum elemental says, entering the room with a box.
She was right then. One of the flares is a platinum elemental. "I had to make up for the nothing you brought," the icy spring elemental retorts. The shadow shifts backwards a bit. "How rude! I brought plenty of items," the platinum elemental insists before turning to her. "Oh, you're Fresh's friend, right? It's nice to meet you." "Yes," the shadow says. She's not sure she counts as one, but that's probably too pedantic. "It's nice to meet you as well. Do you need any help setting up?" "Nope, you just relax. Pink should be here soon." She probably shouldn't ask again. You sure you don't need any help?
Positive.
She doesn't try again and watches the two elementals bicker. There's something comforting about watching the interaction. A bright pink light bursts into the room. Her white and pale orange streaked tendrils are stylized like wings.
Sorry, I'm late. Am I late?
The light asks.
Nope, you're on time,
the icy spring says.
Actually, you're early.
Was she? We were all waiting on you, the platinum says.
You're still setting up, the pink light says before turning to the shadow.
I'm sorry, Polished is so mean to me. It's nice to finally meet Fresh's friend. The light is shining. The dark figure doesn't believe she actually thinks the polished platinum is mean. It's nice to meet you as well, she says. It seems bickering is the norm around here, so I'll have to adapt. The light elemental shines, nearly sparkling. She fluffs up her mittens, making her wings flutter. Light orbs have never felt this warm before.